Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our marriage and relationship series. And in this series, we are discussing the issue of counseling. And with me in the house is Evangelist Jeremiah. That is the father of the house. So, welcome.
Thank you very much, Lady Mercy. It's a good opportunity once again that I'm featuring in your channel. We will be looking at counseling today, basically, until it got to my time where I was going through counseling. I never knew counseling was that important. And it was then that I got to understand that over the years, would-be couples were going through vetting and not counseling. And the Bible says, lack of knowledge, my people perish. So the noise around counseling, divorce, and issues in marriage is just because we didn't have time or we didn't have certified counselors to go through counseling.
Wow.
I was a lay counselor, let me say, almost 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Before I got affiliated to GNACC, Ghana National Association of Certified Counselors. So in our studies and in our findings, we got to understand that counseling is not just an issue we see like as it is. There are details and stages of it. And so I'll try to give a little brief on the stages of the counseling so that the youth out there can know that we don't just see each other today, next month, next 2-3 months, we are getting ready to marry. If that happens, immediately you get into the marriage, you will have problems.
That means that the counseling is a crucial stage.
Yeah, to pre-inform you, to give you a whole and a holistic knowledge about what marriage is.
Okay.
When to say yes, I do. The stages, actually before you even make a choice, you need a lot of counseling.
That means there are stages of counseling.
Exactly. And then I will try to throw a little light on the stages.
Okay. So before you go to the stages, is it possible that a couple will start counseling and decide that they will not marry again?
Yes.
Oh.
During counseling,
yeah.
a whole lot of things comes out.
Oh, okay.
Because counseling gives you a pre-information. Then in this case, you will get the discovery. You will get to know why certain things you are seeing today are happening. And it will interest you to know that just after you go through counseling, you'll be too sure that this journey I can't continue. And sometimes a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage.
Certainly.
The counseling is actually going to give you feelings. It's going to give you an information and to decide whether you are ready for marriage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So basically we have 4 stages in the school of thought that we're going to be looking at.
Okay. Please take us through.
Yeah, so there is the first stage is pre-marital counseling.
Pre-marital counseling.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 2, pre-selection counseling.
Pre-selection counseling.
And then number 3, marriage counseling.
Marriage counseling.
And the 4th one is post-marital counseling.
Post-marital counseling. That means after the marriage.
After the marriage.
Okay. So please, let's start from the beginning stage. Educate us.
Great. Premarital counseling has to do with before you even go into what marriage is. You need to be told the do's and don'ts and what marriage entails.
Okay.
And we try to touch on a few of them in our past episode. Until you understand what marriage is, then you can be sure you are going in for it. And it's a journey of no returns. And so if you don't get the information, marriage is a union between 2 mature people, and during marriage you are going to leave, the Bible says, your parents and be together for life until death do you part. No holidays for marriage. And of course, if you become a Mrs., that is why you have not become a Mrs. Any other issue that comes your way becomes a third issue or a tertiary matter. The basic issue in your life that you vie for is now your marriage. And sometimes when you get into marriage, there are some friends, there are some groups of companies and whatever you were into in the past. You need to break away.
I don't know, but one would think that, oh, I have my friends. Just because I'm married, I should say, oh, bye-bye. I don't want you to be my friend again. What if something happens? And I would need those friends along the line.
Great. Yeah. Now, in this case, you will distance them to a level where you put major things major and minor things minor.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Because whatever your spouse can do for you, your friends and families can no more do that for you. And since you became married from day one, both of you have become one. Yeah. Yeah. Emotionally, spiritually, you are put together. Yeah. And there are times where friends and families will have to come in. And it must be a consensus between you and your spouse that let's bring these people in. We had a case where this newly wedded lady believed the friend so much, who happened to be the maid. And so where they were going to have their honeymoon, the lady followed suit. They drive in there with their cars. So it was as late as 11 p.m. And then the maid tried to inform the newly wedded wife that she was taking her leave. And you can imagine what happened. Now it was late and there was no car or vehicle to send this lady, who was a maid. That same day, that same night, the maid took the husband from the lady.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So if you had rain, that from the time you check in into your hotel or whatever, it is between you and your husband. Any other person can find their own way. That would have been fair. But in this case, the newly wedded wife believed the friend so much and brought her in and appealed to the husband to give her a lift. The lady actually had that in mind.
Certainly.
And it was a serious setup, a done deal. So when the husband accepted, in fact, it was difficult for him to do that because he was tired.
Yeah.
But finally, this is a demand from my wife, and that is the best friend. Yeah. And that was our maid of honor. Drove her, and the lady actually said, "This is my home." So there was something fishy that happened. Because the lady set up and knew what she was into, she took out a powder, something that would make the guy suffocate, and blew it towards his face. And immediately it clicked. The man started suffocating and called for water. The lady went and brought a drink. So the man insisted that, no, I want water just to eat the suffocation. But the lady also insisted I have only drink. And it was this Don Simon or whatever poured in the glass. And sleeping tablets were put in there. Immediately, the man took it. He started dozing on right on the steer because he was still in the car when he wanted. Then, it was a spiritual integrated something as well. So the man actually started smiling to the lady. Then the lady said, will you want to come in? Then the man said, why not? The newly wedded wife could not have all the honeymoon as in that is yours.
Yeah.
The maid of honor took it from her.
Wow.
And in fact, I look at that happening to have been one thing I learned strongly, that couples who have become couples must be careful how to keep friends around.
Certainly.
If you had been informed, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That is the reason you have to put major things major and do clear cuts to things. Yeah.
So moving on to the second stage. Yeah. Kindly educate us.
Okay, so pre-selection counseling.
Yeah. I hope my listeners, you're taking points, you're writing notes down, because these are very important points that you can pay money for and get, that our counselor is giving to us for free. So please take notes.
Selection becomes easy because you have been informed about what marriage is.
Yeah.
And the information, there is a saying that knowledge brings progression.
Definitely.
So immediately you receive knowledge, you know what you're about in life. You will know who to choose, and that will lessen the mistakes we see today.
But you've chosen the person already, and you are counseling. So the information coming up, would it allow you another opportunity to say that, okay, let's move on, or I'm backing out?
Okay, so I was talking about pre-marital counseling.
Oh, so this is
that is a general knowledge of what marriage is, how the institution is, and why God has instituted it.
Okay.
So when we talk about pre-selection counseling, because you have been informed about what marriage is, why God instituted it, you will now know when to choose, how to choose, and what you are really going to do.
Okay, I guess.
So this counseling gives you information that this person I'm choosing is going to be a life partner, and we have to live together. It is a God's choice for me, and that is why I'm choosing him. That's why we are talking about the stages of counseling, so that you don't skip one. Because if you skip one, the gap can affect you.
Yeah.
Yes. So here, the before you select, the counselor gives you everything you need to know before you go into the selection. And the basic thing is for you not to make a mistake, and for the marriage not to hit the rock and end in divorce. Because you can't say that, oh, let me go on holidays. I think I made a mistake. I think you are not the best person for me. I want to leave you and go and choose another. They are not dresses where you would want to take another dress. So this choice I've done is not the best. So let me just, no, you can't do that. So the pre-selection counseling informs you that whoever you choose, you should be ready to say yes, I do to the person.
That person. Yeah. Like they are not dresses, but
exactly.
It looks like people are changing a lot of dresses.
No. So basically, the information comes and informs you on who to choose, and it's a life partner, and you don't have to go back, a journey of no returns. That's basically what the pre-selection counseling informs you about. Yeah. So
then we move to the third stage.
Yeah. That is the marriage counseling.
Okay.
After you have chosen, you are not too sure this is the person I want to marry. Here comes the type of marriage you want to do, whether traditional, whether holy matrimony, whether legal. It informs you of how to cut the coat according to your size. You don't look, oh, there was a marriage ceremony somewhere, let me do that type of marriage.
Based on the information you have acquired.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you now know that when I'm going to marry, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
Because this is what my strength can do. We had issues where people borrow to marry, and the money they borrowed is more than what they had. I know of a case of 30,000 Ghana cedis budget on marriage, and when they got married 4 months, the marriage dissolved because all the creditors were at their door knocking. They are married. Why would you go and do a marriage celebration which you are not able to do? So counseling, in my case, I was being counseled by the Pentecost pastor. And he told us categorically that we should take a pen and a paper, list the things you want to see in your marriage. We listed them, and basically, approximately in 12 to almost about 13 years back, we got about 8,500 cities. So we were like, okay, can we meet this budget? And we started putting resources together. But at the end of the day, we had almost about 10,000 budgets, and she's a professional teacher. I was a teacher too. We would have friends and family teachers coming around, and I was a lay pastor in ministry. Friends are coming, so we couldn't also do something in the corner,
right?
And we couldn't overemphasize on what we are doing.
So you have to be in between.
In between,
yeah.
So we were informed that for the marriage to be holistic, you need to go start from the traditional setting,
right.
Then the holy matrimony, the vows on the altar, and then finally to the court. So we actually did the three. We prepared for them and planned so we can have the three done. All was because of the information. If not, we could just jump in and copy from what people did.
Yeah.
Without looking at who we are and what we can do.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. So that is the need for the marital counseling.
Then we move to the fourth stage.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say about the marital counseling is sometimes, or basically, one rule around is that you are going to have in-laws, mother-in-law, father-in-law, and you basically need to know how to handle them. Or during marriage, you are made to know that, of course, to a level you are going to get married to them too.
Certainly.
That is why the titles around will change. Mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law.
Yeah. Because they are now family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the fourth stage is the one until you get to your marital home.
Yeah.
You will think you have worked on anger.
Until you enter into the same space.
And you are under the same roof, alone. And of course, in quotes, you naked yourself and she's standing naked, you are standing naked, and you are couples. Come on. You will forget the vows you made.
Oh my God.
If God doesn't give you grace.
Even as
Even as
a pastor.
a pastor.
Oh, wow.
I like the way you have said that one. So let me tell you my own experience.
Please tell us.
Exactly 6 months. I wanted to back off the marriage.
Wow.
6 months.
6 months.
Now I was teaching in the Volta North.
Okay.
And she was at the Volta South after we got married. Now we had the plan of coming together. She will move from the upper Volta South and then upper Volta North and come to the middle. That's basically Hawaii in the Volta region. So we wanted to settle there. We got a 2-bedroom apartment. We were trying to fix it. In her mind, she thought I should come meet her every weekend so that we can have time together. And I need to stay back and prepare a place where we can stay together and have our peace. Why am I not having time for her? I finished getting married to her. And so, you know, ladies.
Yeah, I am one, so I understand.
From this one to God. Grace. One of the times I really had BP. I said, hey, God, show mercy.
Did I make a mistake?
Yes. That was the question I was asking. I said, I couldn't have made a mistake. Praying and fasting for 13 years before I went into marriage is not a mistake. God punished the devil. I said, this is not from God. And it took, now, we quickly went to our counselor. We were told that when you have an issue and you couldn't solve it both, either your spiritual father or your counselor have contact with him or her. I quickly called my spiritual father. He smiled. He was smiling, and then when I was getting more, then he laughed. I said, what is the meaning of this? I said, hold your peace. This is where you need a few things a few experience to handle the situation. So he talked to us, he prayed with us, he used himself, his failure story and success story to inform us. We took our peace and we went back together, and then there was a relapse again. This time it was more fierce.
Oh, I like this. So that means that even pastors also go through their own fair share of struggle in marriage.
My personal experience has taught me that ours is even worse. Because you are married to the church, you are married to members, you are married to God, and now the missus has come. And I am the missus. Why church? Why this? Why that? And that is why the pastor must always meet with the pastor missus.
So hold that thought. I would let us continue having a spiritual head or father as someone that you talk to or you look up to, or a man must submit to somebody. So that if you don't have a man that submits to somebody, you are in a dangerous relationship. And we will look at that in our next
that's a very good point.
We'll look at that in our next episode. Viewers, all too soon, we have come to the end of another beautiful one. I learned a lot. In fact, I would take notes. I'll go back, watch and take notes. Please do the same. Join us in our next series. Let's dive into deeper waters, because there's a lot that we have to learn and discuss when it comes to the issue of marriage. Until then, bye.